We are Toucher and Hardy, Joe Murray, Michael Hurley in on this Memorial Day, which I was out of town on Saturday, and I saw people that were from way further away than I was, and I thought, oh no, what a terrible, terrible weekend to choose to go where it's never going to stop raining and it's going to be cold. You are going to be in raining hard enough where you're not even going to want to be outside, like even walking around. So you have just you've dumped a lot of money into a holiday weekend where you are just bound for misery.
I don't do it anymore. Memorial Day, you might remember years ago, Bird and I, we had a big July 4th party down the Cape. We bought thousands of dollars worth of meats, and it rained for 3 days straight. And we forced 4th of July and used the grill out in the rain. I mean, pouring rain. Like, it was really bad to the point where I will not spend money to go away anymore.
Wow.
Until after July 4th. So Memorial Day weekend, I'll be here with you again, Fred, if you want next year. And July 4th, I'll do something locally. I go to Bird's house.
I'll be here July 4th, too, because my son's baseball stuff. But, yeah, I'm with you. The only reason that I went out for one night was because my son's birthday was Saturday. And, of course, he didn't want to be with us. He wanted to be out with his friends. So everyone, my ex-wife, me, his sister, and I, and his girlfriend went out Friday night. And then they stayed at my house Friday night. Then Saturday, I knew that would be very difficult on his mother. So I was like, this is like a month ago. I was like, why don't you have my daughter Zoe stay with you on Saturday? It was honestly this. I had no plans. I was like, why don't you just have her stay with you because I know this is going to be difficult for you. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, thanks. And then so I had nothing to do. And then I realized, well, it is my son's birthday too. Maybe I should try to find something to do to fill this day. And then I wasn't doing anything yesterday, and I knew I wasn't going to do anything today. And I said, like you, if you take enough time at Christmas, you need to stack up some days. You can't. I get a lot of vacation, but I don't get enough vacation where I can just be screwing around. I need to work these holidays.
Yep. And Patriots starts for me August 13th. That's the first preseason game. So I work every game. I'll be here right at kickoff, and I'll do postgame. And I'm here all day. So once that August 13th comes around, I'm pretty much locked in for football until the Super Bowl, until February.
What do you guys do during the Patriots games while you're here?
All right, so I'm here. I work with the production team, Jeremy and Kevin Majore, and Mark Dondero meets me halfway.
The Duns.
And I'm telling you, he's like we have belly bumped, fist pumped each other. He is a spitfire.
Spitfire?
What's the word? What is
Spitfire?
The word? Spitfire. Yeah.
No, I thought you were referring to him as something else.
No, he's very animated. I'm sure you know this, right? He is like this. He has a twitch, or is it a switch? What's it? I'm trying to find. He has like a tick about him.
Wait, you get tick?
He has like a not like a
not the streaming platform. He's got a little.
He's got like Tourette's.
No. He has like a intense. Like you can turn it on. This intensity.
His default is like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, he could be like that fires me up and like rip his shirt. Let's go, Joey, baby. He calls me Joey all the time.
Seems like a little bit of an emotional issue.
I would say he is. It's passion. Yes, passion and emotion. Did you see his rap song that he made?
No,
you didn't see this thing.
I didn't look at it on purpose because I knew he wanted us to.
Oh, okay.
So I said I'm not indulging this behavior.
I give him credit for it because he used me in the video too, which I'll take.
Now, was it you?
No, he asked me to do things.
Oh, okay. So he asked you to do that.
And then he did it.
I didn't know if he just took your...
You know what? I think it's worth a watch. You don't have to talk about it, but I think it's worth a watch.
Because
I just wish Fred would have me on one time.
That's another thing.
You know that he made that video so people would talk about it and kind of make fun of it. And I'm not playing in that game.
Do you know what happened? I think people kind of liked it more than
good.
You know how it's
That's
like
good for him.
Yeah, you do something, to get people to talk about it. I think everyone was kind of like him, and not a bad job.
All right, I would question that, but I think you're too close to it, but maybe.
Taught me how to slurp it.
But he's the spit take I was here for. And
the very sincere spit take that he did.
I wasn't bothered by it at the time.
I wasn't bothered by it at all. It just was really corny.
But I did think it was, as I would use the word, kayfabe.
Yes, of course. Joe, no one's actually ever spit taked in their entire lives. It's like a trope of like vaudevillian comedy.
Yeah.
Like when you were playing to a room with no microphones, you were playing to like 500 people with no microphones and no kind of screens. You would have to do incredibly animated comedy in order for people to see it in the back row. Hence the spit take. No one has ever in real life ever consumed liquid and then were so overcome with news that they spat it out like they were playing the trumpet or the trumpet, either one. But you don't go that. No, that's a trope of like vaudevillian comedy.
Yeah, I've come to really like Mark though.
I don't dislike Mark at all.
No. What I mean is I've come to really like him because
the way you said it, you said like, well, I like him, and I'm like, I don't know him.
I've gotten to know him, and he is definitely different, but in a very passionate way. Like I almost think you and him should do a show together. Because you would see how intense he is about things.
I don't ban him. First of all, I don't. There's this. He has this perception that I ban him from.
I just wish Fred would have me on one time.
But you have to understand is that like I'll give you an example of today. So like Dan Roach, if he's available, I want Dan in. And Joe, I want you in because I have a relationship with you. And then today they were like, you can have Hurley. And so I was like, oh, Mike, I know Mike. I'll have Hurley in. Like the wild card, the thing that's really against Dondero is I've never worked with him before. So, and I'll give you another example. I'd love to work with Michael Holley. Like I really would like to work with Michael Holley, but they don't even consider him because they go to Roach first. And I want to work with, I like working with Roach because I think the dynamic, I don't know if it would work every day for 2 years. But when he fills in for a day, I do feel like we have a really good dynamic, and I've actually become really good friends with him. So I feel that like that's the guy I want. But Dondero's in the place where I haven't worked with him before.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I got you. I just have you've worked with Dondero?
I haven't. No.
Okay,
we crossed over.
I know
that's about it.
Ryan Garvin does a lot of weekend
frequently,
stuff.
Yeah.
Toucher and Rochi, by the way, that sounds like Epstein and Ghislaine back in the day.
Oh, I almost spit taked. Again, that is from the PMT referring to us, and I do question that joke being laugh out loud funny. I don't know how that would elicit out loud laughs, but again, I have no beef with them, as Joe was saying. His parent company, Nesson, wrote an article about how my show was beefing with their show.
Yeah.
That was a little disingenuous.
Didn't like that.
And Joe stood up for it. He said this is ridiculous. They're not really beefing.
And then they told me there's no one I can talk to.
Right, because that person lives in Kuwait.
You know what gave it away? There was I forget, some Nesson story came across my eyes once, and the author bio was there, and it was like, I have been an NESN employee. Like they put the "an," so they don't say Nesson. They think they work for NESN, which nobody has ever said ever.
Yeah,
so it was like the meme with the 3 fingers and Inglourious Bastards. You're like, that guy's not from here.
Yes, that's a they could stand to get things going, but they're starting in that direction. Joseph is going to be on Nesson this afternoon on a show that they are doing live programming, real local live programming during the day.
Yeah,
which I applaud them on, because I told you, Joe, like about 10 years ago, my agent just made a call over to Nesson just to see. She was just like kind of getting maybe it was even more than that. It was just kind of trying to get the lay of the land of what local media was like, and if there was any opportunities in television, to simulcast the show or something like that, or to if they needed some whatever, just to kind of get to know what was going on locally. And she literally couldn't get anyone to answer the phone. Now, not that they went, "Oh, you're Fred Toucher's agent, we're not going to answer the phone." They wouldn't know she was Fred Toucher's agent because there was literally no one answering any phones. It just was a line to nowhere with no voicemail, no anything. Just a we get it. Just a line that rang and rang and rang and rang. And she went, "This is really a television network." And I said, "It is."
Yes.
In fact, they have 2 of the local sports teams.
They do. That's the one thing working there. They are team owned. So, you can't say on their airwaves, "Hey, the owner doesn't spend money." And
yeah, but I get that, and who cares? That's one thing you can't talk about. All I'm talking about is that it's a good thing that they put you guys on, that they're doing something somewhat local.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I'm trying. I'm doing everything I can. We have rated a little bit.
Nice.
So, I guess
it's better than this show ever did on NBC Sports Boston.
We're trying.
I don't think we ever showed up one time in the ratings.
They get us guests, which is great. We talked to a lot of the baseball writers. We've when football season was on, we had probably the same guys you have, Matt Light. With Drew Bledsoe, Teddy Bruschi.
You got Matt Light? Whoa.
No, he's funny though.
No, I know. But
a little bit of a wallflower, that guy.
Yeah, I know. He's never doing anything. But we have Papelbon on tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so he knows me. Yes.
We'll talk to him about you. So anyway, when you're in here during the Patriots games, because you do pre and post, how do you spend the time? I know you're watching the game, obviously, but do you have food brought in? Is it a bit of a party atmosphere?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Jeremy and Kevin Majore are here all day. I just do post game, but I'm here at 1:00 because I want to watch. I don't want to watch halftime at home and then drive here and do all that.
Right.
But yes, there'll be a buffet of the masses. They might order something. I'll go to Market Basket right around the corner, Fred. I don't know if you ever been to the big one.
Yes, oh, sure.
But they have a luxurious a la carte situation over there. But the wings, they got wings galore. I sometimes
you like the wings there too.
I like their wings and their fingers. They make a nice little tuna sub. Mm-hmm. They have good pizza.
Now, do you have to pay for this, or does the station reimburse you?
I am not reimbursed. No way. I don't.
It
think
sounds like an expense.
Well, I don't think I can expense that.
You'd be surprised.
Oh well, maybe. All right. If it was my own company, I would
Well, Hardy and I bought those Thuppets. And they saw the first Thuppets video, and they said, "Hey, we'll give you money for those." I think it's more to own the Thuppets than it is to than anything else. Yes. But and I was like, okay, I guess if you really want to, and I meant it. Do you really want to? Because now I got now, if we go somewhere else, we got to buy new puppets.
Well, the other thing too is to me. That's the whole. This. If you leave, they own your rights.
Oh well,
they own you. So
but you get that. If it's the name of the, forget it. All right, but it's fun to be here.
Yeah, and Dondero really gets into it. Jeremy's been working the games forever, so he's just kind of here all day long, and he's kind of got a feel for it. Yeah, they're going to blow it or they're going to win it. But I like to listen to Zoe and the broadcast, so I hear what happens first, and then I watch it on the television and
that doesn't bother you?
No, but Dondero hates it, so he locks himself in a room and just listens to the TV broadcast.
I wonder how long he would have to do post game until it started to wear on him and he didn't care as viscerally about the games anymore. Because that's like that with anything. You think that, if say you're a huge Celtics fan and you're like, it would be the greatest thing ever if I could just for a living cover the Celtics. There has to be a tipping point, like Hurley with the Deflategate when he became just completely.
Now you got my ears perked up.
Yeah, I do. There has to be a point though when you're doing it for a living. It becomes a hassle. It becomes something that an obligation rather than something you're doing for fun.
Yes. There are nights here where I work the Bruins and the Celtics game.
Yes.
And I'm the only one here. So I have to really time because sometimes the halftime could happen during an intermission and I've come to a point where I might not even be watching because I'm just working.
Right.
Yeah. So to your point, there are nights, Celtics, Bruins, where, it's just I don't care about the game.
How's Grande?
Sean Grande is great.
You have that wrestling thing in common.
We have a wrestling thing, but no, Grandy's he's a regular on our television show, and he, has he ever been on with you?
No.
Would you ever have him on?
No.
Really?
No.
I will say this though. One thing that I do talk to him about, because I tried to lay him up for you one day. I think you guys played it, but he was the whole gap year guy. Like he was all about gap year.
Yes.
And now that the year's over, he even says this was one of his best seasons and most favorable seasons. And, he was kind of building it up as like the gap year Celtics, but
he did one of the worst turnarounds. Is this it? This might be it. Let me see. This might be what you're talking about.
The season that began on opening night in this building against the Sixers. And on that night, whatever anybody says now, whatever they pretend changing history, nobody picked the Celtics ahead of the Sixers at the start of this year. The season began, and everybody called it a gap year at the start, and then I started doing it satirically during the year when the Celtics just kept winning crazy games and putting up a crazy scoring differential, and the Celtics for 82 games played as a top 4 team in the NBA. That was the start, which is why a lot of us were not overly optimistic about what this team could accomplish, and it's funny that it sort of came back that way at the end of the year. I know there's going to be craziness. That's what talk shows do, right, for the next 6 months. There's going to be all of this conversation throughout the emotion of losing this series. That will happen. But at the end of the day, the Celtics still have Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. They still have Peyton Pritchard because the expectations with Tatum returning healthy next year, it's what I kept saying all year, stop getting excited about this team and enjoy the house money year.
Yeah, so you can't do that. Like, you literally, that's so offensive that you if you don't listen to the broadcast, you have to understand how sanctimonious and patronizing he was. He was like this, I am so much better than he plays this. He's so into wrestling, Joe. It's such a wrestling thing. And he does this thing where he's like, oh, it's a gap year, all right. Another Celtics win. Oh, on the gap year. Like, we knew, some of us knew, da-da-da-da-da. Fine. They were winning. They were the favorite to win the East. Literally, Joseph. Literally. The moment the season ends, he goes, well, I was saying all that satirically. Well, yes, you were saying it as a satire of the people that thought that was what was going to happen. You weren't saying it to satirize how the team was overperforming and it's fool's gold. You cannot do that. It's so intellectually dishonest. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, and he still stands by it.
Of course he does, because he's just Trump. He's just going to say it until it's true. Just going to keep saying it until it's true.
But I think he does feel like Jaylen Brown, where like Jaylen said this was his best season.
That's great. He calls the games.
The same thing.
Yeah, he calls the games. Who cares what he thinks? Jaylen Brown's on the team. Yep. That's where it's concerning. But it's just the most aggravating thing. And it's so Celticsy, Like, it's just, like, I can't see the Bruins. I can't in a million years see Johnston and Beers at the end of the first round loss when they were a favorite going like, huzzah. Like, what a year. Beers craps on that team like there's no tomorrow. And, he likes it when they're good. And believe me, Beers wants them to win. I know for a fact he does. But he certainly wouldn't turn around at the end of the year right after it was over. But then again, they also wouldn't dance around all year about how smart they are. So that's another thing. It's like, okay, so all year you can be the smart one. And you were. Fine. You were right. They're way better than anyone but you thought they'd be. Brad Stevens obviously didn't think they were going to be that good. You heard him talk after the season. So Grande knows more than Brad Stevens. So he's the guy. So great. So you get 82 games of being the smartest guy in the world. And the minute they lose, you go, I didn't mean it. No, you can't have that. You can't do it. It's like banging someone other than your wife, having the time of your life, and then she dumps you and you tell your wife, I never liked her. Well, no, you banged her. You got to bang her for 6 months. Smartest guy in the room for 6 months. They lose all of a sudden.
Well, to your point, Fred, the Celtics were favored to win the East even going into the last game of the season.
Yes.
When their season could have been ended by the Philadelphia 76ers, they were still the odds-on favorite to win the conference.
Oh, but they didn't have Tatum. Oh, yeah, that matter of Philadelphia not having Embiid for 3 games. Like, get out of here. There's no excuse. It's just nauseating. You performed right. Preseason expectations, fine. Then the season happens and expectations change. It's why they play sports. You don't go into it. Then they shouldn't have. Then the Patriots should have never been in the Super Bowl because it doesn't count because they weren't supposed to win 6 games.
I think you nailed it though when you said it's very Celtics-like, because we'll get into it in a bit. But Scal has done the same thing. Scal this offseason is doing the same thing.
All right, let's do that.
Out
next.
on that.
Let's do that next because now I can play the Grande thing again and make fun of him, which I love to do. And I'm glad you brought it up. So let's get into the Scal thing next. We can go a little Celtics on this, and we can play a little bit of the Jaylen Brown stuff. We can go. What a gift to the Celtic fan. We will have that for you in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy, and we got Joe Murray and Michael Hurley in on this Memorial Day. Where the is that criminal hot dog kid eating today? He got
that's July 4th.
He got assault charges on him for
Chestnut.
Yes, he got into an altercation. Supposedly slapped somebody, but his probation 180 days, and he can't leave the state of. I want to say it was like Illinois, Iowa, wherever it was. But he has now been allowed to go to
Coney Island.
Yeah, for Coney Island.
It's good to know the court system still has some fundamental basic rights for humans.
He will be coming to the area in the next couple of months, and he'll be doing a food competition.
So I was hearing a story about him. This is just very briefly. I heard a story about him like getting in this legal trouble and not being able to do Nathan's. And the guy was talking about how surprisingly Joey Chestnut not a lot of money, like not like FU money. Like he very, 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 very much needs to do the Nathans. Like he's not in a position not to do the Nathans.
He will be coming to the Brook Casino, and he might even be eating against me for all we know.
Yeah,
which I've been asked.
So now he's made a career eating and looking like esoteric, but he is nonetheless he needs to eat. Well,
he saved the Nathan's hot dog eating contest a year ago, as they were going to cancel it due to rain, and he said no.
That was awesome.
And then, was it 2 years ago, he boycotted it because he had a sponsor for a hot dog and they wouldn't let him eat that hot dog?
Yeah, so he did like his separate Zoom one.
Yeah. And you know what? That didn't work out well for him financially. So, again, he needs to eat in front of people.
Yes.
I'm a Kobayashi guy myself.
Oh, they had battles back
Remember
in the day.
he had to like sneak in from the crowd?
Yep.
Don't get into
Why do
politics.
we know this stuff?
Don't get into politics on the show. You're going to alienate half the audience.
Let's get back to more Grande and Celtic stuff.
All right. So, anyway, we were playing the clip of Grande saying that it was a gap year, and then all year condescendingly saying that it was a gap year, like sarcastically, because they were winning, and how only idiots and idiots in the media, and I don't even put myself up as someone he would be talking about, so it's not like I'm personally offended by it because I don't think anyone looks at me as a sports media personality because I don't know anything, but like whatever, like invisible fake news media is all telling you that Celtics aren't any good and we know better, don't we, as these very smart people. And then quite literally, the moment they lost that Game 7 and in a massive disappointment, a massive upset, lost to a 76ers team that not only was swept by the Knicks, but destroyed. I mean, you rarely see that in basketball. Just a real sweep. Some games like 20-point wins, like just a no-show, a complete no-show. Even Dallas took a game off the Celtics in that finals. He turns around and he goes, oh, well, I didn't mean it. And you're like, well, no. You just what is it about you? You can't just go, oh, whoops-a-daisies, this sucked. Next year should be better. There's no harm in saying that. But you can say, wow, that was really disappointing. Cedric doesn't have any problem saying that.
Do you know that was the second time in NBA history a team has won 2 games by 30 or more points and still lost the series?
The first time in team history they ever lost 3-1.
Right. So it's like they blew it.
Yes.
Sometimes teams blow it.
They were the worst Celtics team of all time, essentially up 3-1.
And then they're like, well, the expectations weren't much going into the season. Yeah, but then they played the season. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's why they play seasons, you morons. Of course. You don't just play the season and go, oh. And by the way, so like people go, oh, well, the Pistons, like the Pistons, they were upset kind of by Cleveland. And so you go, oh, well, you're disappointed. But if someone made the point, well, this is part of the maturation process for that Pistons team, at least you could go, oh, that makes sense. You certainly can't do that with a Celtics team that's won a championship.
Correct.
So, I mean, it's just whatever. It's intellectually dishonest. And it's more thinking that you can get away with it that's fascinating to me than anything else. Like thinking that that's a viable way of handling the situation and that people are going to go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like sometimes you just have to say, that sucked. And by the way, he's not on the team. All right, go ahead.
All right, so, to double down on that, it sounds like the regular seasons don't matter, even though it mattered so much in Sean Grande's final call. But this is Brian Scalabrine's slingshot idea that the Celtics shouldn't go for it all this year. Let's hear that sound.
It is an absolute miracle. That movie Miracle, this is more of a miracle that they got underneath the tax this year. It would be another miracle if we're good in the regular season and we're underneath the tax. We are loading up the slingshot to let it go. If we stay under the tax for one more year, then I know that Brad Stevens and Bill Chisholm and the Tatum Brown situation, whatever it is, that's going to lead to at least one, if not 2 championships. Like this is the first time ever there's ever been an executive of the year that saved $360 million. Most of the time it's when Bob Myers adds Kevin Durant. If that's executive of the year, I think that I could be like, you know what? Kevin Durant would be a good fit here for the Warriors. That's not executive of the year stuff. What Brad did is setting you up for the future. It's a reason that I don't have to think. I believe in that crew. And at this point, they haven't proved me wrong.
Okay, so his idea is that the executive of the year is an award that proves that a championship is on the way.
Well, no, he thinks that they should not go over the tax again this year. Because in the NBA, if you go back-to-back years without going into the tax, you can spend money the following year. He thinks that they should do that again. Get under the tax this year. Play the entire season, get to the trade deadline, get under the tax. And basically waste Jaylen Brown and another year of Jason Tatum's prime so that the following year they can slingshot their way to a championship.
Yeah, and it looks like, because Oklahoma City and San Antonio will be really bad in 2 years. So there's no way Brad Stevens is doing that.
I hate that take.
Well, no, you heard Brad Stevens after the season. I thought he was very refreshing. He basically said, look, I knew all along this team wasn't going to be very good. Like, not good enough. He said we weren't good against
3-11.
teams.
Yeah, 3-11 versus those teams.
Yeah, he's like, we weren't good against playoff teams. Like, it was basically fool's gold. He knew what Grande didn't. And so it seems to me like if you say something like that, your intention's not to run it back, right? Like, wouldn't you say we're building something or something along those lines instead of saying we're not? Didn't he literally say we're not good enough? I think he did.
Yeah, and he said we're not good enough around the rim. Yeah, he mentioned multiple times.
Didn't get good enough looks.
Yeah, so, like, if you're saying we're not good enough, that doesn't sound to me like we're not good enough, so there. Like, we're not good enough, so just, we're not good.
He even said that they shoot too many threes at times. Bad threes. And I'm glad that he said that. But to waste a year.
Well, I want to ask you that, Joe. Like, can you think of a time where any franchise is like, let's not compete next year, but the year after that, and have that work out? Because I can't.
With two guys in their primes, too. And by the way, like, Brown's going to be 30, and then so you're 30, and Tatum's going to be 29, and so you're like, so you've just not wasted. I mean,
you lost a year.
You've lost 2 years already of these guys.
And you're paying them 50-something million.
Right, and then so you're gonna intentionally waste another and then shorten that window even further. That doesn't make any sense.
By slingshotting all these guys in. Hate it. And I get it. I get the idea. I know what the NBA is these days about the tax.
That it's financially possible to do, right.
The owner can just spend the money too, Fred, though.
Right, I understand.
Right?
That.
Couldn't that just happen? You build a good team and you try to win it. So I hate the take out on that. And then we'd get another year of, well, they already said that they're going to slingshot their way the next year. I can't do another season of that. So literally what happened this year was when they finally became contenders was when they were chokers. And I can't do that again this year where, they might get Giannis. They might do this. This is why I'm starting to wonder why Jaylen Brown might be, I don't want to use the word popping off, but he's crashed out, right? Has said things like this was his greatest season, which is a bad look. And I know Stephen A has been on him about that. That's a bad look. But I'm almost wondering now, last night, Jaylen Brown was all NBA second team. Luka Doncic and Cade Cunningham were first team. I would make the case that although Cade Cunningham was really good for Detroit this year, he missed a bunch of time with a bad injury. Jaylen Brown played all year, played 65 games. Doncic and Cunningham didn't. So you could make the case that Jaylen Brown was an all-NBA player this year.
Certainly, right.
But he didn't. He finished second. And what he said about it was, not a lot of people like me anyways. The media doesn't like me. Which, isn't that what Stephen A's been saying?
Yeah.
So, what is it? Does the team not want to go for it this year because they're trying to stay under the money? Does the media not like him? I mean, how the hell does a guy who played an entire season not get all NBA to two guys who didn't even play 65 games?
Want to know some interesting? I have the MVP votes up, and on Basketball Reference, they have the win shares per 48 minutes. So league average is .100. Jaylen Brown was 135. So he was slightly above league average. Other guys on the list, like SGA, was 323.
Oh, wow.
Jokic was 316. Wembanyama, 257. Doncic, 199. Cunningham, 174. And the guys behind him, Kawhi Leonard had a higher. It was 212. Donovan Mitchell, 169. So, Jaylen Brown did have a good year. But numerically, it's not about being liked. It's not about that.
He finished sixth.
Statistically, his numbers didn't hold up to those other guys.
You can say that he's a top 10 player in the league, but to me, you can make a case he was all NBA. He's not, and he feels it's because nobody likes him.
Right, which is an easier thing to think than I didn't deserve it.
But what is with that? Like, why does Stephen A say that? Why does he feel that way?
The thing about Stephen A saying that he has stuff on Brown and he should be careful, what I would say is, well, why aren't you reporting it? Like, how much information do you hold back on a regular basis? Like, if you do have all this stuff on Jaylen Brown that would fascinate everyone about how the team doesn't like him, why wouldn't you report that the team doesn't like him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be a nice story to have. Like, why would you hold that in the chamber to threaten someone?
He's done it before. Remember he did it to Durant?
No.
Durant said something about Stephen A., and Stephen A. did the exact same thing, like, be careful what you're doing. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like...
It's not ammo.
Yeah, like, why aren't you just reporting it? Like, if you are this big reporter that has all these reports... Why are you not reporting them? Like, why am I watching? Like, I like Stephen A. Smith, and I think that the notion that Brown put up that he didn't have to fight for anything is ridiculous. I mean, Stephen A.'s had to do a lot in his career to make it this far. But the thing is that, well, if you have all this cool information, like, it would be nice to hear it instead of just having you dance around threatening to say it. Just say it. If it's not gonna get you sued, say it. If the Celtics don't like him, I would like to know that. I think Celtics fans should hear that. Then it will make sense. By the way, it certainly doesn't sound out of the realm of possibility that they're thinking about getting rid of him, as I'm sure you would agree. At least that's not a preposterous notion.
Well, you're going to keep them together because they got a slingshot.
Yeah.
Maybe he's hearing that they're going to move on from him and not slingshot next year. I hate that term. I don't know why Scal said that.
Nothing that Stevens has said in this offseason, which is, anything that he said publicly this offseason gives me no pause to think that he is not prepared to try to make this team better next year. I mean, he said they're not good enough. That's not something you say. You don't say it in that way when you just intend to not change anything. Now, I'm not saying he's going to move Brown, but he's going to try to do something, because it's certainly not. It's not. You don't go. You would say, "Oh, we're working towards something. We're growing." This was, a year where we didn't have Jason and He said we weren't good against playoff teams. We weren't good enough. We're not a good enough team. There you go. That's all you need to know. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
No Effects, who are traveling around with a movie, 40 years of effing up. It is not streaming or been released on any video form. You got to go see it at the movie theater. And it's not widely, they do city by city.
Mike was talking about going to the movie theater and how expensive it is these days.
It's tough. I was going to take my kids to see the little Star Wars movie. And you're like, do I want to spend $80 to go see a film?
$80?
You buy the tickets, you buy the popcorn. It adds up.
Yeah, because I take my daughter and I think we went to like 35 movies last year. And they were all really good. That's
of course,
the thing.
Yeah.
Because we like that movie theater in Chestnut Hill. She likes the food there. And it's, rather than like going out to dinner and just staring at each other, because I see her all the time, sometimes it's nice to go to a movie and she doesn't look at her phone. It's like long form entertainment, which is a little scary that I'm just looking for my kids to consume anything, like even a sitcom, like just consume something that's over like a minute long. And so there is some value, I feel, to like watching an hour and a half, 2-hour movie. At least you've seen a narrative play out, regardless of how
even
stupid
if it's bad,
it is.
It gives you something to talk about.
Right. Like what did you think about it? Like, what did you think about this? Like, there is a value in that. And I like it too, because they have that soda machine.
Oh,
that is
freestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when we were at Verizon yesterday, we went over to Five Guys so Milo could get something to eat. And they had one of those magical soda machines where you can just, the combinations are infinite.
Like raspberry, lime, diet, Dr. Pepper.
You could go Minute Maid, strawberry, lemonade. Oh, yeah.
And don't let anyone look at you funny when you're doing it, because you're living life. You're letting them know. I've gone on dates to that movie theater and disgusted the woman that I was with on several occasions by whipping it out. By going back to the soda machine 3 times during the film.
That's what the movie's about, right? Popcorn and soda.
And then I have to pee constantly, and so I'm leaving for that too. So I see about 10 minutes of the movie.
I love it over there. You get a Frank Pepe's at Cheesecake Factory. Chef Dave's, I like. A great little spot over there.
But a lot of times people think that you can get what is the steakhouse in there?
Capitol Grill?
No. The Italian one, the chain. Davio's. People think you can order Davio's into the movie theater, and that's not the case. I hate that. I hate to bust bubbles, but people think you can just walk in there and get a steak. And I think, I don't know how the condition that steak's going to be in by the time it gets to you. They're not moving with great efficiency over there.
Steve D. Football should think about that, right? Don't you think about like
an upscale Chunkies?
Yeah. Yes.
They could call it that.
That's a New
Chunkies, but nicer.
New Hampshire.
I just think it's funny the name Chunkies.
Yeah,
it's like
Chunkies was a New Hampshire movie theater.
It was like you sit down and eat dinner, but watch a movie.
Yeah. Was there a Chuck E. Cheese there too? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's in my brain.
I should note too, like I'm a big sneak your drinks in. So like I've taught my kids that. So even with that, you still end up with a pretty hefty bill by the end of the day.
And I would question how much they're going to call you out walking into the theater if they see the drinks.
I don't think they really care.
Yeah,
well, there's going to be one vigilant teen who's like, "Excuse me."
Oh, when I was a kid, I used to take the 34E bus to the Dedham movie theater, which is now Legacy Place, and we'd slip the guy $1 bill. He'd let us in. I'd hang out there all day long.
It's a good thing you took the bus, because if you try to park there,
well,
that's an adventure.
Actually, no, the old, if you remember the old Dedham theater, now it's Legacy Place, but it was just parking. That's it. And I used to do donuts in there. That's where I learned how to drive.
It's like the Woburn one. The Woburn parking lot is so big.
Still going.
Movie theater, they can put a carnival in there and still keep the movie theater running.
That's where I met Fred's kid. Did a card show over there.
Yeah.
He's wheeling and dealing.
Oh, he's wheeling and dealing.
He's doing all right.
He's got a kid with him who's real smart, so he knows this kid. He's got someone to.
But that's a good activity though. And the one thing I see the most is it's dads and kids, and they're willing and dealing with each other. And like the dad might make a little money, but then he gives the rest to some of the kid. You know what I mean? It's a nice little deal.
I don't have the patience to sit there all day, but I told you that he pulled a $3,000 downtown, 1 of 10.
It's a big boy.
He did that yesterday. Very rare that he'll call me excited. It's usually something that happened in baseball that I didn't see, or it's a card.
A card he pulled.
So it was a very rare experience yesterday where he actually called and went, Dad, Dad. And I was like, oh, something good happened. This is very rare.
This is what I mean by the bonding experience.
Well, I have such an advantage over his mother on birthdays because, like, I know what to get him and she doesn't. So, like, we went together on an iPhone, but then I was able to come in with, the optics box and then the guaranteed downtown thing that I gave him, which is almost unfair to Stephanie because she doesn't know these things.
Yeah, downtown is a certain parallel that you get in a card that's numbered. And because there's so little of them, they're high value and can be worth as much as $10,000.
Well, I pulled it wasn't a downtown, but I pulled that $5,000 J.J. McCarthy, and people said, you should sit on it. You should sit on it.
No. Freddie T sold that right away.
I mean, listen, if you got an acumen.
That kid stinks.
Now, Wemby, on the other hand.
Yes, he does sing.
Wemby, you got him early and you sat on it. Oh, boy. You're doing very, very well.
Well, but there was a bit of a hint that he'd be okay. His size. All right, look. It's Memorial Day. Everyone's thinking about chilling out. You listen to the radio. You don't want to be bothered. Hardy's not here. Wallach's not here. They're not here to get in the way. It's time to shoot the breeze. It's like sitting on a porch in a rocking chair. You call in 617-779-0985. Joe's here. Michael Hurley is here. Talk to any of us about anything. Don't get your socks all ruffled. Cool out. Start the day. Loaded phone lines. 617-779-0985. The very labor-intensive, brilliant Shooting the Breeze segment on the way.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.